Boisai. The other came with a little bit. Geschmack, Motzi Shabbos. Or your 7:10 a.m. We have to. It's the difference. You came with it. Givaldik. Where do we start even? Check this out.
Rabbi Stefansky, I'm watching your preaching in dafyomi.com.
Good morning, Rabbi.
Wow. Osik Batoira, Chayiv Misa. It's all in it.
Have a wonderful day.
Yeah. Now we can go to this one. Chizuk Gadol. Shalom Aleichem. I'm divorced for 11 years, 2 marriages and dating.
Ooh.
Today was I went through a breakup. I'm not laughing at the email, I'm laughing at him. My heart was torn. I called my friends, my Rebbe, and just wasn't able to stop crying. I turned to the only thing that I know gives real simchas achayim, the Daf Shir with Reb Eli. I don't know, I hear this over and over from people that are suffering, people in the hospital. The Daf gets them out of it. Try it. If you ever chas v'sholom. I therefore thank you from the bottom of my heart for being there for me, even though you had no idea. You've been there for me more than anyone else. More than anyone else. Wow. Thank you very much, bracha. And daven for me, Yechiel Moshe Ben Chaim. I hope that's not too much. I mentioned too much. Try not to mention my name in public. You should have said that first. No, I took out his real name, like his name. Okay, hopefully those who know him know that he needs. Okay, fine. What else do we have here? Here's somebody learning on the plane. I don't know what this is. Anybody know his name? And Rabbi Isai, Shuli, I think Shuli organized for us a booth. It's a lot of money at the Camp Expo tomorrow. So go check out our booth, MDY booth. There's going to be volunteers there trying to get more people to join the DAF. Yishkoyach Shuli. Here we have, this is legit. I mean, there are a lot of things here, but there's 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 magnets. Now I know where all the magnets went. Wow, we had a pile like this, now it's gone. Shkoyach, Lakewood, I don't know, somewhere in New Jersey.
Rebelli, look at this.
Hill Boyer,
just came down to fix something in the door, and he tells me, "Are you on MDY?" So I say, "Yeah." He's like, "Listen, Aaron, turn around for a second." So if you see yourself tomorrow at the DAF, he tells me, "Say what you said."
I said I offer a discount for the guys that do the MDY DAF with Reb Eli, and then if I'm gonna get somebody to start and get the discount, and somebody that's doing it already may as well get the discount also.
Let's go, Aaron Locks for all your locksmith work.
What's up with the locksmiths? Zechariah here in Esterson. This is like in Brooklyn, I guess. Oh, opening doors for people. Ari Simon is in the house. Rabbi said the Masechta sponsor for Refuah for Yosef Chaim Shmuel Ben Alte Nechama from his grateful family. The Masechta sponsor for Hatzlacha Bruchins and Begashmiyos. The Masechta by Ari Cohn in memory of Yechiel Moshe Ben Chaim. He had to start learning Daf Yomi at age 70 and continued for 32 years until he was nifter. The Masechta for the unity of the Jewish people. The Masechta. You looking for your father? He's there. Yeah, wave to him over there. I don't know. Rabbi David, he's sitting over here next to me. Oh, here he is. Here, you see? Oh, he's doing good. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. Glenn Esterson with love and gratitude from Wilmington, North Carolina. Thank you for enriching my life with Torah. Parnasa Chodesh, Nishma Zchai Ben Moshe, Nishma Zchai Bas Yosef. Parnasa Chodesh, Zchut. Parnasa Birevach for Baruch, Tzvi, Nissim Ben Shoshana Leah. Parnasa Chodesh V'Akar Satoy from Anonymous. Parnasa Chodesh, Shprintzy Alan Gross. Nishma Shlem Zal Ben Yitzchak Isaac. Binyamin Isaac Ben Tzvi Hirsch. HaKoyin Zchron Levracha. And Refuah Shelaima for Yonas and Eitan Ben Batsheva Bracha. Leon Welcher for the speedy release from house arrest of Ari Rosenfeld, Aaron Ben Hinda, Esther Gittel. Sponsored the Koil of the Month, sponsored by HYK. Anybody know what that means? Ventures in honor and for the success of all our clients. Parnasa Yoim Yitzin Yisrael Loi, in memory of Shmuel ben Eliezer Lipman, a survivor who did the daf daily. Parnasa chodesh for the art, for Zchut, for rebelling the whole MDY staff to continue to make Torah so enjoyable for so many, and in honor of Yosef Kalan and Mark Ashkenazi for all the work they do. We have a few guests. What's your names over there? Shalom Aleichem.
Brian Lowy.
Lowy, what? Related over here? No, not really. Okay, nice to meet you from? You can take your hat off, by the way. You know, it's a Haimish over here. You can wear it. We're not anti. You can wear it. What's your name? Mauer? Related to the Mauers from Chicago? Ah, very nice. Where do you live now? Shkoyach. Welcome, ganz family friends. Okay, so we're holding 3 lines from the bottom of Daf Yomi, Amud Beis. Who else? Do we have other guests? What's your name? You look kind of new. Ah, where are you from?
Los Angeles. I'm in the day.
Shalom Aleichem. Yeah, you've been here. You've been here. Oh, what, you're all Chabura together? Yeah. What yeshiva are you guys from? Yagdil. What's your name? Shalom Aleichem. Also from New York area? Lakewood. Givaldik. Okay, great. Here we go. What if all of a sudden you're walking down the street and a donkey falls out of the sky? You realize that it's Merashamayim. It's not, nobody threw it at you. It's just HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave you a piece of donkey meat. Are you allowed to eat it? Is it kosher or not? Omerlei Yorud Nala. What's the name of the donkey? It sounds familiar. Yorud, no? But anyways, over here, what? Arod. There, maybe it's a play on words. Arod. Over here, but it means a type of bird. Nala. Like you're a crazy bird. There was a bird in South Africa. You have to find it. Who's from South Africa over here? What's that crazy bird that makes that meshugana noise? What? No, what is it called? There's a crazy bird there. It sounds like a baby crying.
Adida.
What is it called?
Adida.
Oh yeah, something like that. No, it doesn't sound like a baby crying. No, show us how it sounds. What?
I'm not doing it. Not a shot.
Come on, look over that Torah. You're Chazik. That's Shamroth. Come on, you can do it. I'm sitting in the guy's house, and I hear a baby crying for like an hour. I go outside. It's like this giant bird. I don't know, it's like this big. Shimmy, you're doing the editing? You have what to work on now. I'm telling you. What is it called? Adida. How do you spell it for him? Adida. Here, maybe you have the sound. Dave, come on, get some sound, that data sound. Kids, a sound. That's what Rashi says. It cries. Umaspid. Tomid. Chaval, I should have put it in. You'll be able to do it. You'll have a lot of fun during the editing. Like the crazy sound. Bemis. It's out of this world. It's like you got to kill them all. It's not. There's no. No, that's not it. Yeah. Imagine you're sitting in your house and this is what you hear. Mama's like that. Yeah.
All of a sudden, sounds normal.
That's a Yarod. I'm telling you, that's a Yarod.
Sounds like my wife.
All right. Enough. Givaldik. So the Chofetz Chaim brings this Gemara. He says, you know, a lot of times you have in Shas that one Amoyer insults the other one. He says, what's going on here? Why would we call him like that? How do you call another Amoyer such a name? So he says that Reb Zera is known. He fasted a lot. He says you have to stop fasting. You're not thinking clear and learning. You're saying these funny things learning. Stop it. You're giving yourself too many yisurim and sigufim that it's having hashpa on what you're saying and learning. We said, what's the difference if a piece of cow comes out of the sky or a donkey? There's no such thing as tamei and tar in Shemayim. It could look like a donkey. It's not real. So you could eat it, and because of this, there are those who say from this Gemara, what about synthetic meat? Maybe you could bring a raya this way or that way. Okay, it's coming soon to a butcher near you.
What about Parnasa?
So that's another thing to discuss. Yeah, that's also. You eat, and what about what is it called? In the 9 days they have these burgers that are mamish. They look impossible burger. That's my. You don't like it.
No.
All we need is sing a nice slow song and give you an impossible burger. Your mom should go out.
Felt good. You even said how great it was to sing an up-tempo song on a Saturday night. Malava Malka, feel good.
Says the Gemara. Reb Shimon Oimer Afal Kishuf. So we're going back to the Sheva Mitzvahs B'nei Noach. Just to remind everybody, it's never enough. How do you remember Sheva Mitzvahs B'nei Noach? You have the three chamuros, Abed Zara, Gil Arai, Shvichas Damim. Then you have Aleph, Beis, Gimel, Daled. What's Daled? What's Dayanim? What's Gimel? And what's Beis? Okay. Ever Menachai, Birkas Hashem, Gezel, and Dinim. Comes the Gemara, says Reb Shimon says, Afal Kishuf. So his eighth actually is Kishuf. Let's see what Yoshi did here for Kishuf. I know he was working on something. Something like that. Okay, I got it. Oh, he turned them into something else. I got it. Kishuf. Gewaldig. Okay. So, my time with Reb Shimon, why does he add that to the 7 mitzvahs b'nei Noach? T'chsiv, mechasheifa lo Zchaya. This week's parsha. It's like Parshas Mishpatim, not what we learned this week. Should I tell them the vacuum cleaner? Yeah. Okay, some guy, a nice guy, bought his mother-in-law a vacuum cleaner. It's Vos Pshat. He says, because I heard in our generation the witches stopped using brooms. Uchsev, kol shoichev in behema moisyumas. One pasuk after another. So when you have two psukim one after another, it's called smuchim, and you can do a limud from it. First pasuk talks about a machashefa. The second pasuk talks about shoichev in behema. Kol sheyesh lemichlal, kol shoichev in behema. That we already learned. We had a whole sugya about. That's one of the Sheva mitzvahs b'nei Noach of being with an animal. So too, if you have that isur, yesh lemichlal machashefa lo yisachayos. So you chayev also on machashefa. That's why it's number 8 according to Reb Shimon. So we said there's 4 types of climb. There's planting in the ground. There's combining 2 trees together. That's also for Ben Noach. Planting in the ground is not a problem. There's plowing with 2 animals, but there's also, I asked Yoshi to make this. I said, I want to see an elephant with a zebra. So you got an elephant with elephant zebra. Okay. And then I said, you know what, that came out good. What about a monkey and an elephant? So you got one of those too. Check this out. Yemamish. Masamara. אין כזה, לא, אין כזה. אם היה כזה, זה אסור.
So real.
But what's interesting about it, what's the tzad hashava of a monkey and an elephant? Woo! That was quick. Mishana Brios. It's a special brach you have to make when you see a monkey for the first time in a long time and an elephant. What's your name? Shmuel what? How old are you? 11 and a half. You looking to see if you're on the screen? Yeah, you're on the screen. Say hi to your dad. Not if he watches. No, later. Yeah. So, 11 and a half. You hear that? Now let's see. Yisrael. You said the name Yisrael? Why are you making Mishana Brios just on those 2?
Because they're different from old animals.
Really? Different than a lion? A lion is pretty different to me. So I'll tell you. I think the pshat is that by Dara Flaga, Baruch Hu took some people and he made them into monkeys and he made them into elephants. Those are the 2 that the Shulchan Aruch brings it. So yeah, the opposite of what people think. Not that we came from monkeys came from us. But okay, fine. How do we know? Omer Shmuel, Shad is mutter. Yeah, shatnez, that's mutter. That's one of the claims. Yeah. Omar Shmuel, the Omar Kro is chukoisai tishmoiru. Chugim shechakakti l'chakfar. What I told you before, that you have to keep. Behem techali sarbia klaim, v'sad chali sizra kilayim. Ma behem techa bahar ba, avsadcha bahar kava. So the isser over here is not to plant seeds, but it's harkava. We don't really have to see this again, but in case you forgot what it looked, maybe this is new actually. But the sound, David. You take an apple and a pear, I think you put together. You could easily do this and be over. Is it the rice of chiv misa? It says here in the bottom. Oh. So, does anybody know, besides Ari Simon, what are the original citrus fruits that were in the time of Chazal? I looked it up today. The original. What did they have 1,000, 2,000 years ago? Not you, not somebody that was here the other day. No, what do you think? Esrog, very good. That's actually very brilliant because it's in the Torah, so it has to be that existed. What else? A lemon?
Citrus fruit.
Yeah, lemon. No, the lemon is citrus. It's not one of them.
Probably an orange.
Huh?
Key.
Key lime? No.
Probably an orange.
Not an orange. Hello. Citrus. No. So the answer is a mandarin and a pomelo. You think pomelo comes from a grapefruit and an orange? No, it's the opposite. So here, I'll just show you. These are, according to this, here, you take a pomelo and a mandarin makes a grapefruit. Pomelo and a citron, which is an esrig, makes a lemon. Over it's something else. Papida, I don't know what that is. Okay. No. All citron. Citron is a trog. Okay? So there's a shita that says you don't make a shechiyanu on a fruit that's a kalaim. So you wouldn't make a shechiyanu on an orange, on a grapefruit, on a lemon, all those things. Okay? What? What does it say on top? On top. Those are the original. It says this is four original. I don't know what this fourth one on the left is. I have no idea what that is. I've never. And what's the citron? Papeda. It doesn't exist anymore. It's extinct probably. No, I have no idea. It looks like an esrog shtickle. We said this already. Okay. Says the Gemara Na'ato. Well, because it says the word Tishmoiru and Chukoisai, so you have to add it to the list. Oh, I forgot to show you the list. You wouldn't know without this. Here we go. Kilayim. I did? What's papeda? Oh, he did? No, it's different. It's different. Okay. It's for sure not a Chazanish Esrog. That's something. Okay, ma behem techa bein ba'aretz. Sorry, ma behem techa bar ba'av, so bar kava. So the isser is to be markiv, to take one branch and put it into another, into the truck. That's our kava. Ma behem techa bein ba'aretz bein chutz la'aretz. This applies also in chutz la'aretz. Avsalcha bein ba'aretz bein chutz la'aretz. As the Gemara Na'atu shmartem is chukoisai is mishpatai. This is referring to all the mitzvahs, and it says shmira and it says chukoisai. Ves mishpatai. Chukim shchukat l'chutfar. So therefore, a guy, a ben noach, should be chayav according to this in all the mitzvahs. Says the Gemara, there's a difference. What comes first? It says shmartem es chukoisai on all the mitzvahs. So first there's the shmira, then I'm giving you chukos. No, but over here we're talking about hazam shmartem chukois. The hashta. Hacha es chukoisai tishmoiru. That I gave you, the chukim that I gave you to shmoiru, you mechuyev to keep. So that's different. Depends what comes first. Here. Because the shmeiru, the mikar the shmeiru, yeah. The shmeiru the hashta. Okay, it's chukoy side the shmeiru chukim the mikar the chukim that came first. That I give you a shmira. Omar Rabbi Yeshua ben Karcha. So if we're going to go back to the Mishnah real quickly, here. So you all remember that when the Edom come to testify about a klala that somebody gave the Rebbeinu Shalom, so it's very, very specific. It's not just you curse the Rebbeinu Shalom. You have to say that, we're not going to say the Rebbeinu Shalom, so we're going to switch the name. Instead of Rebbeinu Shalom, we're going to say Yosi. And the idea is that Yosi should beat up Yosi. Okay? That's how you say it. But the Mishnah uses a name, Stam, so that you're not over in saying Hashem's name, Stam, even through the testimony, so we throw in a name. So, we could see the whole thing. We'll see it we'll see it soon. So that's enough for now. The blue part on top, Yaki Yosi es Yosi. You have to use the Yud K Vav K, the Shema Mefayrosh, the main name, not Adnos, not Aleph Daled Nun Yud, not Elikim, and Achaka used the forename. La Puke ben Shtei Oisei is the Loi. So, what would you think the two Oisei is? If you had to guess, you start saying Aleph Lamed, Yud K. 2 out of the Yud K Vav K. That you're not over on. Says Gemara Pshita. It says in the Mishnah, Yaki Yosi es Yosi. We use the 4-letter name to show you that you have to use 4 letters, not 2. It doesn't say God, done. Mao the same in Milsa Amud Aleph. No, we just threw out a name, like the person says Moshe, whatever. You just threw out a name. No, Kumashmal has to be 4. You should know that there's a much larger name than a 4-letter name. All you need is 4 letters to be over. Pshita. Yaki Yosi is Yosi. No, it says in the Mishnah 4 letters. You need a very large name, more chashav than the 4 letters. I want to show you something. Not everybody knows this. I think most of the people in the room are going to be shocked. You said this last night. And what's all this stuff on the left side? All this Aleph Beis Gimel Yud Tov Tzad. You ever saw this in the art school? It has it. What? Yeah, you know it. You know it also? Anybody here know it? Raise your hand if you know what that is. No, Yosef?
2-letter name.
What? What kind of Shem Hashem? The 42 Shem Hashem. Very good. This is the stuff that you say really quick as you're sitting down. What niggin today? Terrible. No. In Chicago, I'm not kidding. Chaim Twersky got up one day. He said you could sing any niggin in the world besides he made it Isser. There is no the Mam is one of the worst nigunim ever for the Chadaydi. I don't know. Maybe because I heard it so many times. Also, you know what should be Isser in Kedusha? Isser. There's a few things that have to be Isser. Yeah. So the Kihanim used to say the 42 letter. They used to say it very quiet so nobody could hear this. And Rashi says, I don't even know what it is. There's a whole. So I would think that's the 42 letters. Anyway, the Mishnah is not going to find the 42 letter name of someone. So they took Yossi. No, 4 letters is all you need in order to curse. Or will be Mevarach Hashem. Nigimar Adin. So now let's go back to the Mishnah, because it's Geshmak Mishnah. You have the witnesses that are testifying. They say this person cursed like this, and he said this, and Yosi, Yaki Yosi. You sure you heard it? Yeah. And then what's weiter? So it says in the Mishnah, Nigimar Adin Loi Hargin Bekinoi. We have a problem. The whole testimony they kept on saying Yosi, but the Edom never said the real name. What if in fact this guy, he actually didn't curse Hashem. He said, Yosi should hit Yosi. And you're going to kill a guy because, and they come, these Chavermanim, they come, they say, look, he said Yosi should hit Yosi. And they mean Hashem, but Lamaisi did it. So that's why at the last second, remove everybody, and they asked the main witness, I want to hear the actual name, and he says it. And the Yonim stand up. How do you know they have to stand up? The Gemara is going to ask. Al ragleim v'koirin, and they do kriya. They rice kriya. They tear kriya. How do we know? The Gemara. V'leimachim, and they don't repair it. How do we know? The Gemara. V'asheni oimer afani kamoyu. And each witness says, I also heard it exactly like that. I also heard it, but they don't say the real name. Only one says the name, the second and the third, and this is all the Gemara now. Nigmar adin. Says the Gemara, how do we know that the Dayanim stand up? Eyud comes to the king Egloin of Moav. He's a very big gezunte bal basar. And he comes to him, I have a message from Hashem to you. So the king, the guy of Moav, gets up. And then he takes the sword, puts it right into him, all the way with the handle and everything, right into his body. Kills him, leaves, locks the door behind him, takes the key with him. The servants don't know that it's locked. Until they found him, he was gone. Yeah, exactly. They smelled it. Makes it simple. This Egloin, who's the king of Moav. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell the Israelis. Somebody said something. I said I'll say it soon. The king of Moav, who's a guy, he stood up. Omad. What zchus did he have because he stood up? What did HaKadosh Baruch Hu pay him back? Rus. Yeah, he got Rus, which is all guys from David HaMelech, and a lot of us are from David HaMelech. Yisrael, v'shem ha'mfayrosh. So if a Jew says it, and he's not stam, he says the shem ha'mfayrosh, yutke vavke, Allah is kama v'kama. So certainly you have to stand. Koyim and all, and how do you know that you do kriya? The chsiva yovel yokim ben el-chelkiyo, v'shem na'asev yoyach ben osaf hamaskil chizkiyo, kriya begodim, ripped clothing. Here, kriya begodim. Ve'agiduloi is divrei Rab Shokei. He said over the curse of Shokei, so he has kriya begodim. You see, you have to rip your clothing. V'loi ma'achim and all. Now, again, I like to say this all the time. I know that you heard it 100 times. Say it again. In the time of the Gemara, they didn't have made in China. That you put a bunch of threads, and 25 seconds later, out comes a suit. To make this, it was impossible to make this. But they had something, like a coarse thing. It took hundreds and hundreds of hours to make one beged. So if somebody has to rip kriya on his beged, it's oy vavai. This is like. This is a tragedy. This is a disaster. Somebody spent thousands of hours on it, and you're going to rip it? So okay, so you rip it. Now I'm going to repair it. No, you can't repair. Today, when my mother was nifter, so 5 minutes before, I knew she's going to be nifter. Like I'm a shugana, the thing I was thinking about. What about my suit? So I went into the closet. I found the worst suit I could possibly, the one I hated the most, and that's the one I wore. And I ripped kriya. But for the whole shiva, I had to wear bands. Okay, whatever. That's a different problem. You can't repair it. Take it. What do you do today? You rip it. You throw it in the garbage. Omer bavo asi kriya kriya. You cannot repair it because we have a gzer shava. Ksivachi kriya begodim. Now we're in a place that says kriya begodim. Ksivasam. By when Eliyahu Navi was nifter, it says v'lisha royev u'mitzaik ovi. How many times have we heard this at a levaya? Rechev Yisrael for Roshav. He ripped it to 2 rippings. We already know that he ripped it and he dashed him kroim. Why does it say the word kroim twice? Because it has to be ripped. Stay like that. When you hear somebody cursing Hashem, you have to rip your clothing. And when you hear it from the Eidim testifying, you also have to, like we said in the Mishnah, the Dayanim have to hear. There's a whole need, and I don't know exactly how it's negea, but what if you hear on TV, you see it on the radio, you see it on TV, you hear somebody cursing Hashem. So you have to say it a certain way, but we're going to get into it. A guy, what about a Jew? What about a nidain? But it has to be like Yosi, Yaki, Yosi, Yaki, Yosi, Yosi. Fine. But there is a nidain. Haydim ein chayom likroya kishikvar karu b'shosh shamu. Shikvar karu b'shosh shamu. The Eidim don't have to rip a second time because they ripped when they heard it originally. As Gemara v'chikar b'shosh shamu mehavi, who cares? Hakoshami hashto. But now they hear it again from each other, from themselves. They hear it. You don't have to. When he heard Rav Shokei, Chizkiyo alone ripped his clothing. Hamelech Chizkiyo kara v'hem lo karu. The ones who repeated it, they don't have to rip their clothes because they already ripped their clothes before. Omer Rav Yudam Shmuel. Hashemei askorim pia goy. You hear Hashem's name from a non-Jew. Einoi chayiv l'kroy. You don't have to rip your clothing. What about Rav Shoghi Hakam Chizkiyo ripped his clothing? Yisrael Momahaya. He was Jewish. He was just a little off. V'omar Rav Yudam Shmuel. Ein korin elo al shem hamyuchad bavad. You only, so we have a machlokes here. Do you rip clothing on a kinui? So like in English, the word, I'm saying it just for lilame, not because you're allowed to say it. God. Somebody curses. Here, like, I don't know, I didn't hear it exactly, but they say that the fire in Los Angeles happened right after some person got up there by the award show and said, by the Oscars, and said something not nice. Like cursed Hashem or something. So said, we don't believe in whatever. No, nobody heard this? Made up?
We don't watch those things.
No, it's like one of these quick clips, not the Oscars. Okay, whatever. Shimmy, you don't have to put that one in. That's okay. So he says, Shmuel says that you only do kriya, you rip your clothing when you hear the Shem HaMiyuchad, Yud Kei Vav Kei. Not if you hear a kinoi like Adnos, Elika, Shakai, Tzvakos, all these things, not. And now we have a machlokes on both things. That what? First of all, so what did he say? The first Tana, Shmuel says, first of all, you don't rip for a guy, and you don't rip for a kinoi. And he's going to say, yeah, you do rip when a guy says Hashem's name, and you do rip for a kinoi.
What's a kinoi?
A kinoi is anything but the Yud Kei Vav Kei. Alias. Oh, like God in English, but Adoi Shem in Hebrew. Like, yeah?
Hashem's name.
Hashem's name, but not Yud Kei Vav Kei. Yud Kei Vav Kei is the main. Yud, we say K instead of a Hey, because you're not allowed to even say the Hey over there.
So
we
instead
say
of Ado, yeah?
Yeah.
And something else.
So no, there's only, the first Tana says you only rip your clothing if you hear somebody say Yud, Hey, Vav Kei. What?
We pronounce Yud Kei Vav Kei, Ado, whatever. But that's not
Oh yeah, that's not, yeah. Sometimes it says in the Siddur, Yud Kei Vav Kei, we don't pronounce it even. We just say Adai Hashem. But that's a kinoi. Or Shakai is a kinoi. Elohim, right? You say Elohim every day? That's a kinoi, alias. There's only one main one for us. The 42 one that I showed you, which we never say. And the 4 Yud Kei, I'm not going to say it, that's the main one. Okay? It's usually on the shul here, Shavisi Hashem, and it's spelled out the right way, but we don't say it. We don't even utter it. What?
Nikud of Yira. The same Nikud as the word Yira.
Whatever, you just confused me too. Says Gemara. Now, if you hear Hashem's name, the Yud Kei Vav Kei, in our days, you don't have to rip. There's so many people saying Hashem's name that you would have a lot of ripped clothing. Your clothing would be with many rips. Mimman. Now who's the Gemara talking about? Elam Yisrael, a Jew. You heard from a Jew. Jews don't talk like that. They don't say Hashem's name in vain. So obviously you're talking about a guy. Oh, and it says that you'd have to rip your clothing from a guy. Just today you don't because it's too much. Now, time out. A guy doesn't know Yud Kei Vav Kei. So what does he know? He knows God, he knows this, he knows that, but he doesn't know Elalav Bikinui. So there's 2 things that we see different here. First of all, that when a non-Jew says Hashem's name and you hear it, and he curses Hashem's name. Why did God do this? Why did he do the Los Angeles fires? And he curses Hashem, you have to rip your clothing. First of all, well, not today, but you see that a non-Jew has the ability to make you rip his clothing, and also if he doesn't even say Hashem's name, he just says the alias. But back in the day, you'd be chayiv Shma Mino. I'm just like him. Yeah, so the guy goes to the Chinese restaurant, It's called Yankov Goldblum's restaurant, Chinese restaurant. He comes in, he sees the Chinese guy making all the food. He said, "What's pshat? Why Yankov Goldblum?" He says, "That's my name." He says, "Goldblum?" He says, "Yeah, when my parents came in Ellis Island, the guy in front of him was Yankov Goldblum, and then the guy asked my parents, 'What's your name?' He says, 'Same thing.' They made him Yankov Goldblum." Huh? It's Alte. Sean Ferguson. Yeah. He says, the first day it says, I heard, and he says, he utters the word, he says the exact word of what he heard, Yutke, Vavke, Yake, whatever. And the second one doesn't say that. He just says, I'm like him, same thing as him. You see from here that saying these words, just these words, I'm like him, exactly what he said, that's what I heard, that's enough when it comes to being mechayiv somebody money and to kill somebody. You don't have to say the whole thing. And the Rabbanan said, oh no, you should repeat, every age you repeat the whole thing from beginning to end. But by cursing Hashem, it's not possible to hear from all three, you don't want to hear it again. Rabbanan said, you know what, you don't have to do the whole thing. You just say, Afani kamayu. Because if it's not okay, to say, I say like him, I heard what he said, you're going to kill a human being because the aid can't say it? That's not a reason to kill somebody. So from here, the Chazon Ish learns that many times you say, I'm doing a heteriska based on the Sefer, what's it called? Bris Pinchas. That's enough. Afani kamayu. Or the Chazon Ish talks about Trumas HaMaisros. I'm giving Trumas HaMaisros like it is in the Siddur, the Nusach in the Siddur. I don't know the whole Nusach about Peh. Afani kamayu, over here you see that you can just... No, what? You don't do the whole Nusach? Okay. That already, listen, that's Mugzam. Kulam Yudim. With their pots that they just put outside the thing. There's a lot of coolers in Corona. By the way, I have to say Shkoyach to this kid. A kid comes over to me in Bnei Brak. He says, I made this for you. I have no idea what his name is. Is it? Did I do it the right way? Yeah. Huh? Ah.
Put your hand by the head.
There you go.
He did it during his Gemara Shir at Yeshiva?
I don't care when he did it. It's beautiful.
Good, it's great.
If that's what they're doing, it's good. Well, it's like metal. I thought it's like plastic. Over here?
No, behind you.
Oh. For the rest of the shir? No, but it's... Yeah, it's not gonna... It's gonna fall.
Laying down.
No. Lotov. Here, right over here.
Right in front.
Maybe hold it together.
Maybe I could hold it. I'm very used to holding things now.
Get used to holding something, Rabbi. 1, 2, 3.
All right. Gewaltig. Zog the Gemara. The second one, who's this third guy? Why do you need a third guy? If 2 Eidim is enough, 2 Eidim is enough. Why the third one? Says Gemara, Stama Kiriv Meir. Stama Kiriv Akiva, sorry. Stama Kiriv Akiva. The Makish Leish the Shnayim. I didn't put the pasuk in. I forgot to put the pasuk in, but everybody knows. Api, Shnayim, Eidim, Yokum. No, Api Shloisha. Oh, Api Shloisha. Api Shnayim, or Shloisha. So 2 and 3. What's 2 and 3? It says Rabbi Kiva that if we find out one of the 3 of them come to best. One of the 3 is a relative or he's pasul. The halacha is all 3 are pasul. 2 is enough. No. You're all 3 are equal. So if all 3 are equal, then all 3 have to say Afani Kamayu. Daf Samach Amud Beis. Sponsored before we do the Mishnah. Turn of the Daf Shvat Kirovation of the Honorable President official Zchut. So I give you Simcha Ben Feigo Shilach for reviews by Chaya, and thank you to Rebbe Stefansky. Adar Global, experts in international financial services. Anonymous, Zchut Refuah Satino Yechiel Ben Nechama. My nephew, who's Menachem Kamenetsky, told me that he spoke to Ari Simon. I'm like, what's shaykh is Ari Simon? He said, no, I do a lot of the money transfers, the yeshiva, this, that, through the thing. I didn't know. Small world. Zog to Gemara. What? Oh, look, we're in the same. How we might.
You're gonna have to find a better place to sit to hide.
Ha'ived avodah zara. So now we're talking about avodah zara here. So as we're going to see in the Gemara, ha'ived avodah zara means that you worship avodah zara kedarka. This kedarka shalai kedarka over here. Kedarka means in the normal way that you worship avodah zara. So if the way is to bow to it, that's worshiping. If the way is to kiss it, it's worshiping. Whatever the way is. Shalai kedarka means that you're doing it. Here's a nice getchka, a giant getchka, and you hug it. You're not supposed to hug it. No, nobody in the community hugs it. That's shalai kedarka. So the first one is ha'ived avodah zara. You do whatever people do for that particular avodah zara. If people, let's say, throw stones at it, markulas, so you throw a stone, you're ha'ived avodah zara. Now, echad ha'ived, whether you worship it, ve'echad ha'mizabeach, ve'echad ha'mekater. So now we're moving on to things that are not the derech. This is not the derech harboisai. What are these things? These are things that you do in the Beis HaMikdash. You shech the carbon, ve'echad ha'mekater, and that's mizabeach. Ve'echad ha'mekater means you bring the carbon on to. Oh, I forgot to put my favorite picture here. Maybe, Dave, real quickly, tell Yoshi, if you don't mind, to put the Bama one with the tennis thing. I need it over here. I love it. The Tesla. Okay, you saw it already, but I got to see it again. I love it. It's one of my favorite, all-time favorite. So, what? No, mekater is to take meat and burn it. Like you take the meat on the mizbeach and you burn the meat. Now, if you do any of this, you take an animal, you go over to an Indian getchka that's this, I don't know what they do, they go whatever that. You don't do that. You take an animal and you shecht it right in front of it. That is avodah zara. The Indian has no idea what you're doing. Sugar. What are you shechting an animal in front? But this is what we do in the Beis HaMikdash. Or there you take a steak and make a fire in front of his getchka. That is avodah zara. Why? Because that's what we do in the Beis HaMikdash. What do we do in the Beis HaMikdash? We pour blood. Yeah, I think we have a little bit of a picture. Where was that picture here? This one. On the Mizbeach, here, they pour blood in that hole on top of the Mizbeach. You have the Mizbeach, right? Wine. You take wine and you pour wine. Or you bow to it. And now we're going to see in the Gemara where does mishtachave come. Because mishtachave, there was a mishtachave in the Beis HaMikdash, but that's not one of the avodas. Avodah, you knew? No, you're not so. You kind of knew. 3 times you were? Monte Shabbos. It's enough for me. I should remember. Okay. So, the mishtachave, as we're going to see, it's a covet that you do to Hashem, but it's not one of the avodas. So what is missing in terms of avodah? What kind of avodah is missing? Hold on, let's see if the Yagdal guys know. What's missing from the avodas? You know? No, you guys, you do kachim? No? No, so what's missing? What avodah is missing here? We spoke about shchita and mekater. You're not from Yagdal, are you? So Shah. What? Zrika, very good. What else? Kabbalah and Elacha, very good. Okay, good. Givaldik. They're right. No, Zrika, Kabbalah, Elacha is missing here, and the Gemara is going to talk about Zrika, not the other two. Says the Mishnah. So if you accept upon yourself this avodah zara for Eliha, v'oimer loi Eliata. So if somebody asks you, there's a riddle. What 2 words do you say and they kill you? You just say 2 words and they kill you. Eliata. You say those 2 words, dead. Aval megafef amenashek. But if you do something that's shaloi kedarka, it's not the derech to be oived like this. To hug an avodah zara, to kiss the avodah zara, v'amechabed, and to sweep in front of it, v'amerabed, and to sprinkle water in front of it, V'amerachetz, and to bathe it, v'asoch, and to pour oil on it, v'amalbish, and to dress it, v'amanel, and to put on the shoes. Oiver b'lo yisasa. Then you're oiver. They don't kill you. You're oiver in lo yisasa. Hanoider b'shmoi. You make a neder, but you use the name of the Avodah Zarah instead of using Hashem's name. V'amekayim b'shmoi, or you swear in Hashem's name, in the Avodah Zarah's name. Oiver b'lo yisasa. What's the pasuk? Shem Elohim acherim lisaskiru leishama al picho. Lo yisasa. Hapoyer atzmer lebal par. A person relieves himself in front of the Avodah Zarah called par, and that is what they used to do. Grossest Avodah Zarah ever. Zu Avodasa. So because that's how you worship it, so you get killed for that. Hazarik even lemarkulas. If you throw a stone to the markulas Avodah Zarah, they used to line up 3 stones and they would throw a stone on it. Zu Avodasa. There's a raid about Arabs. Today, the Arabs, they take a stone and they go to Mecca and they throw the stone. They have a big stone in Mecca and they throw the stone on the. They do that also in a guy he almost died this week. He drove into what are these villages by mistake and they almost killed him. They broke his. He's screaming and he has videos everywhere. It's unbelievable. Yeah, they say that they're born with a stone in their hand. If you're Zoicha, they build your house with it. If not, they throw it at you. So, question is, are they Oivdei Avodah Zarah or not? The Rambam says that an Arab is not an Oivdei Avodah Zarah. They believe in one entity, monotheism. Yeah, but this thing of throwing a stone is a minig of Avodah Zarah. It happens to be a minig of Avodah Zarah. The Arizal wasn't makbid on their yayin nesach, safek yayin nesach. Okay. And besides, they stay away from wine. It's also for them to touch wine. So it's a what? Right. But I'm saying the problem of yayin nesach. What's the concern? They're going to lift it up. To them, it's like mamish, like lifting up chazer, whatever. Okay. Zog the Gemara. What does it mean in the Mishnah? Oived, the Zara. Then Echad Oived. It says Echad Oived, Echad Mizabech. What's Echad Oived? Whether you're doing it the normal way of doing this Avodah Zarah, or if you do it the non-normal way of Mizabech. Oh, now they say Mizabech. I got to show you one of my favorite pictures. Here, a guy has a little Mizbech going on in his backyard in Tom's River. I don't see the private plane there. Okay, whatever. He has this tennis court. Oh, I think it actually moves now. It used to move. No, he stopped moving it. Chaval. No, this was a video. You just changed it. Whatever.
It's not Tom's River. There's no pool.
There's no pool? No. They're careful for the kid. They cover the pool with the mizbeach because they have 22 kids and it's a sakana. Okay. There's people that. I had a house that the client asked me to fill in the pool. Louis Cohn knows what I'm talking about. Okay. What? You know Louis? Ask Louis. We filled in the pool over there in Lincolnwood. There's such a thing. So Zog the Gemara. No, I didn't hold. I'm not there yet. So if you bow, even Shaloi Kedarka, that's not the way to do it. You don't bow to this Avodah Zarah. You do it, then you chayv. Ask the Gemara, but you're missing. What are you missing? Like the Yeshiva Bachram said, you're missing Zoyrek. Here, we have a Geshmak of Zoyrek. You want to see Zoyrek? Zoyrek, Mamish Lomo. Okay, it's not Mamish how it's done, but okay. Religious name is Zoyrek. How come the Mishnah doesn't talk about Zrika? You're talking about Avodas in the Beis Hamikdash. Whoa, I didn't chop. It gets. You leave it there for another minute. It's gonna okay. How does it say about Zrika? Zog the Gemara the obvious answer. We already spoke about spilling, pouring liquids, wine. There's no difference. Wine, blood, same thing. The midam, nisuch dam. Okay. Says the Gemara, how do we know that if a person shechs or does one of these things, zrika, menasech, all these things, have a Zara, how do you know that he's chayv misa? So the pasuk says, Zevech lelohim yachram. Lelohim is avodah zarah. So it says the Gemara, if it would say Zevech yachram, if you slaughter the animal, yachram, it will destroy you. So we know you're not allowed to take. Let's say you set aside an animal as a carbon, let's say, and then you shecht it right over here in your backyard. Let me see this picture again because I love it. Geschmack, shecht it on that mizbeach, you chayiv misa. Yeah, well, they shomayim. Zevech kotzim b'chutz kotzim medaber. Maybe I would think that this whole pasuk is talking about Zevech lili. Now you have to read it Zevech lili kim, not lili him. If you shecht it HaKadosh Baruch Hu outside of the Beis Hamikdash, you chayiv. Tamad lo yimar lili him. B'Zevech la'aved zora kotzim medaber. Lili him to not HaKadosh Baruch Hu to something else. Tabed zora. But the pasuk only says Zoveach. There's only one word in this pasuk. How do you know the other things that we discussed? Pouring wine, etc. Bilti Lashem levadoi. Bilti Lashem levadoi at the end of the pasuk. Riken ha'avodas kulam l'shem ha'miyuchad. That all the avodas must be done only to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And if you take an avodah like Zrika or Nisuch and you do it to avodah zarah, you chayiv misa. But how in the world do we know bowing? Bowing is not an avodah. Bowing is something that is done, but it's not an avodah. It's not part of the avodah of the korbanos. Talmud loymar vayelech vayavod Elohim acherim vayishtachu lohem. Usamachlei voitzes zishahu. So it says vayishtachu, but it already talks about bowing. And it says that you die for that, so that's how I know Ishtachava. How do I know that it's not enough to say a punishment, but it says that you kill him? You have to have a warning in the Torah for anything that you kill. You shouldn't bow to another entity, and that's the Azar. So here's what's interesting. All we know all the Avodas, plus one thing called the Shtachava. But what we don't know, not only that we don't know, the Mishnah says, specifically, if you hug or kiss an Avodah Zarah, you don't die. You do not die. V'amanali, you put on shoes. How do you know that that's not included? So, basically, what's going on here is, Rashi explains, once the Torah says, Ishtachava, if Ishtachava is to teach us for everything, that everything you get misa for, then why do I need a pasuk Zeveach? The fact that the Torah says Zeveach, the Torah says no, only Avodah is what you get misa for. Only if you mimic Avodah in front of the Zara, like shechting and zrika and all these things, then you get misa, but nothing else besides one thing called Ishtachava. And that's going to be tomorrow's sugi, really. Like we're going to start like 3 lines from the bottom, and the Gemara over there is going to ask that this cheshbon is a little off. Maybe you're saying that the pasuk zeveach is extra. Once you know hishtachava is aser and everything, bowing is aser. So if bowing is aser, so shechting is aser, nisuch is aser, and gipu, everything it should be aser. So then why do I need the pasuk to tell me zeveach? For that, the Gemara is going to have an answer to tell us it's a big chiddush. But for now, we have this. That what? Since Zeveach would be extra, so Mela, we're going to learn everything only from Zeveach, not from Ishtachava. It's a little complicated, not that much. There's 2 psukim that we can learn from. We can learn from Ishtachava. Ishtachava is not an avodah. Ishtachava is just like kissing and hugging, and you bowing. It's all the same. So if I learn from Ishtachava, that would include everything in the world. Anything that's shaloi kedarka. It's not the proper way of doing the avodah zarah, and you do it, you chayiv misa. The problem with that is, what in the world do I do with the pasuk zeveach? I have a whole pasuk, I have nothing to do with it. Here, this pasuk. What am I going to do with it? It's better for me to learn from zeveach pasuk and say only zeveach and bilti lashem levadei, all the things that are avodah, like nisuch and whatever it is, shchita, Zevech, which is the word Zevech. Only those things you're chayiv misa, and nothing else in the world, not hugging and not kissing. But one thing, yes, Hishtachava, because I do have a pasuk for Hishtachava, so that's limited to Hishtachava. That's where I'm holding right now, that's where we're holding. So we have all the avodas of the Mishnah, plus Hishtachava, which is in the Mishnah, and the Mishnah says specifically, Hamagaf, Menashik, you only get a Merabitz, Merachetz, Vamanel, all these things, no misa, just a lav. Omer Mar, sorry, did I skip? Yeah. Oh, Tamalim Zevech. Zvicha b'klal loisa. Here, now we will understand this. Zvicha b'klal loisa. Zvicha was a general thing. V'lo miyatzos. Why I say only zvicha? Lakish elev elach to teach you. Ma zvicha miyuchadish yahavas pnim is something in avodah you do inside the Beis Hamikdash. V'chayav malei misa and you chayav misa. Of course you have this pnim v'chayav malei misa. But only things that you do inside the Beis Hamikdash, like nisuch. That's the shtachava. And one other thing called the shtachava, lidin ba'atzma. Yotza zvicha lidin ala klal kuloi, and zvicha teaches us that if you do things that are like zvicha, like avodah inside the Beis Hamikdash, you get skila, even though it's shaloi kedarka, even though it's not the proper way of doing that particular avodah zar. Let's just do these 3 lines. I would have thought, perhaps, we said before, maybe this pasuk Zevech lelohim yacharam is talking about somebody that shechs an animal outside of the Beis Hamikdash. As the Gemara Zevech kachim b'chutz karasu. You don't get a misas bezin, you get karas. But maybe yes, maybe you do get misas bezin if they gave you a warning. And if they don't give you a warning, then that's when you get karas. Komash malon that the pasuk is not even talking about Zchut chutz. The pasuk is talking about Avodah Zarah, Rabbi Sai, have a good Voch, have a wonderful day. Thank you for coming. Tomorrow at 7:10.